What up, crypto nerds? Checking in on Ethereum up at all-time highs. Is Bitcoin going to be next? We'll check in on a couple other coins as well. So we'll start it off as usual with the dollar. The dollar confirmed a daily trend, and right now there is a daily confirmed trend change and a lack of follow through. If I were in a bullish position, I would not be liking the consolidation right after the resistance break. That being said, anything above 89.92 is a daily high or low, and it's entirely possible we continue with this uptrend. If the bulls were able to change the 4-hour trend back in their favor, set a daily high or low, we would then be looking back at the high of 90.95, and the weekly time frame, the EMA 12 resistance, is going to stay a nice short-term guide. If we get over that level, we'll start creating space for a weekly trend change to try and set up. If we do not get over that level, it could be a bear flag continuing to favor the longer-term bears. So the daily uptrend is important to us, and anything above 89.92 is a daily high or low. Bitcoin, what a beauty of an equilibrium. It just keeps tightening up exactly what we wanted to see as far as the most likely scenario, and it's also allowing the altcoin bulls to benefit while it continues to trade sideways. It is entirely possible that we stay within this tightening range into the end of this week. If we keep seeing the bulls cling on to the 4-hour uptrend and maybe we set a lower high tonight or tomorrow morning, then we could pull back for a day or two. As long as there's no increasing volume, it will continue to tighten. And then we would look for a break end of this week or into the weekend. But taking it one day at a time as always. 33,850 is a short-term support level. Bulls can be using that level. For me personally, if you zoom out to the 2-day time frame from here, okay, it's now a little bit more important. We've gotten a bit more follow through. The weekly time frame, I'm watching the pattern of a higher low every week, and if 30,000 holds, the weekly inside bars stay sideways. So there is a possible scenario where 33,850 breaks and we stay in control of the bulls if 30,000 maintains as support and the weekly inside bars, weekly inside bars keep forming. It all depends on your risk tolerance. If you want to be very protective, you're definitely using 33,850. So I'm watching an hourly rising wedge right now, and I've been watching that all day today. And I don't know why it's not on my chart. Let's draw it together. Looks like we're breaking it bearish. So it was this resistance line, this support line, bit of a channel, clear bear break. And you can look at this and say, well, that's a reaction to Janet Yellen saying blah, blah, blah about cryptocurrencies. And that's a possibility. But we know a daily lower high is the most likely scenario. We're still in a 4-hour uptrend at this point. Short-term support of 36,200 is approaching. 15-minute RSI is just now getting towards oversold. 5-minute RSI is just now getting towards oversold. So a shift in momentum on the hourly time frame, losing supports. And is this our daily lower high being set? That's entirely possible. I would need to see a confirmed 4-hour downtrend to have confidence in that, but it is a possibility. I've got some Ethereum orders not getting filled yet. We'll get to that in a minute. So the dominance chart has been very weak, which is, again, ideal scenario for the altcoin bulls. Bitcoin sideways, dominance chart dropping, altcoin bulls benefiting. We had a daily equilibrium that broke bearish 5 days ago, and it's been nothing but bear follow through since then. 4-hour time frame, little short-term oversold bounces, clear EMA 12 resistance. We're just looking for a lower high on this current bounce, cooling off extended RSI, and we will have to see a 4-hour trend change for a daily bounce to take place. We'll have to see a daily trend change for our most likely scenario of a weekly higher low taking place from there. One possible scenario that could play out is Bitcoin tightens up on the daily time frame, eventually breaking the equilibrium bullish, and a Bitcoin bull break to be looking at new all-time highs gets its attention again, and that's when we could see its weekly higher low forming. Best case for the alt bears, alt bulls from here would be a head and shoulders, where yes, we form the weekly higher low, then the lower high, and then roll over. That's something we're going to be watching bigger picture. But for now, most likely scenario, anything above 60.80 is a weekly higher low for the dominance bulls in Bitcoin to regain a little bit of strength. ETHUSD, congrats to all-time high bulls on some exchanges. Binance did double top, so it's not clear blue skies ahead at this point. Obviously, the fact that we just V-shaped from 900, set a little higher low at 1065, inside bars breaking bullish, obviously that's a good sign, and it increases the odds. You know, we're talking probability needle, and the probability needle increases that Bitcoin's going to hit all-time highs because ETH is up at those all-time highs as well. So I've been going a little bit more aggressive in ETH over the past couple of days, seeing the setup that was there, and the setup was the ETHBTC chart breaking bullish from its equilibrium. We broke one resistance level, we rejected from the second, but then we just formed a little bull flag. The bull flag has now confirmed, and now we're zooming out to this 2-month time frame that I pointed out on the live stream. Thanks for everybody that tuned in to the live stream over the weekend. Starting to get views that are comparable to 2017 again. It's been a while, slow build up. But it's this resistance level of 4165, this resistance level of 406, and here we are approaching those levels, and we can see the lack of resistance if both of those levels break. So it's worth keeping an eye on that longer term pattern. But we know in the short term, ETH bulls have been certainly benefiting from the continued daily uptrend on this BTC pairing. So on the consolidation that we're currently seeing on ETH, I set some bids looking for 15-minute higher lows. Essentially, we had a beautiful 4-hour equilibrium that broke bullish. And if you remember this last 4-hour equilibrium, we had something very similar. We had a 4-hour equilibrium, break bullish. I went real aggressive on that. I didn't go as aggressive this time around, but I went aggressive, more aggressive than usual. And I scaled out some of my position. Ended up scaling out about 25-30% above 1400, just anticipating, honestly, it was this Bitcoin hourly rising wedge, and knowing that a daily lower high is the most likely scenario that had me say, okay, those are some really nice Ethereum gains. I'm going to lock in some profit. And now we're seeing 4-hour consolidation. 4-hour EMA 12 will be a guide. We're certainly looking for a 4-hour higher low. And I'm just looking to re-add what I scaled out of either in 15-minute oversold conditions, which we just got above. And if we bounce from here, I'm going to pull my orders and patiently watch to see if that 4-hour EMA 12 comes into play. And again, I would just rescale back in the position that I exited, potentially a few percent cheaper. So still pretty heavy ETH. Got my core. The ETH core that I have right now is a bit larger than the Bitcoin core that I have. As long as the 4-hour uptrend is intact, that will remain the case. Obviously, the bulls don't want to see what happened last time with the bull break. No major red flags, and then the big time dump. No sign of it at this point, but we'll keep an eye on it. So ETHBTC, 4-hour time frame, same kind of bull flag as ETHUSD. As long as those pairings are correlated, the bulls are happy. Litecoin, so LTCUSD, daily higher low, higher high. So we got support at 136.29, support at 130.29, bull break over resistance, and we're just looking at that high of 186.34. Still a ways away. Could certainly easily form a weekly inside bar this week. And those little daily higher lows are must-hold levels. LTC, BTC, getting interesting. We did fade back down to the low, but it is a double bottom. We were watching this weekly falling wedge. It broke bullish, and essentially it's just back testing and holding those levels. But what's more important to me than that is this 36.26 level that is now a double bottom. And on the monthly time frame, if that bottom holds, it's a negated monthly bear flag. And if we can turn around and break the high of 5309 from here, that'll be a very notable longer-term momentum shift. From there, I'd be watching the big picture falling wedge setup. But we need to get over that high of the most recent run for this big long-term pattern to come into play. So bulls are fighting to try and hold that support, but it's still a ways to go back over 53.09. Link. So Link daily consolidation is underway. I exited all of my Link position. I've been trading it since the 18s. Added a little bit, scaled out a little bit, and once it was clear that daily consolidation was likely going to occur, locked in my profit, focused on ETH. Still interested in Link. I'll be looking for a daily high or low. I'll be watching for first hourly oversold conditions, which we just came fairly close to. So there's a little support level at 1940. Daily EMA 12 tomorrow will be right up around that 1940 level, and there's no red flags on this consolidation at this point. And the Link BTC pairing is doing the same thing with this daily consolidation. And we're seeing some of these DeFi coins going into ETH for its run. And that was another reason that I exited my Link bullish position. Again, just locking in gains. You got to remember that my trading style, I'm not going for home runs here. I don't care about leaving money on the table. Obviously, I don't want to, but my goal, as I've said many times, is just keep locking in those day makers. Crypto has given me in the first 2 weeks and 3 trading days, I'm now at about 70 to 75% of my 2021 total capital gains goal, and I'm not giving any of that back. So again, I would gladly leave money on the table as opposed to giving back what is quickly approaching my annual goal on the year in the first month. We'll see if it keeps up. So I will be interested re-entering Link when we're looking for a daily high or low. GRTUSD getting some attention the last few days with a clear bull break and weekly higher low being set. We're now going to be watching for the potential of a weekly equilibrium. If you told me this is stock, I would absolutely be looking for a weekly lower high and tightening range. We have plenty of IPO examples where that has ended up shaping up. So actually got to double check what kind of other history we've got here. Nope, so we're looking new across the board. So what would we need for a weekly lower high to be set? We would have to lose the daily uptrend, and that's obviously not close to happening anytime soon. We could pull back significantly here and just be looking for a daily high or low. So we would have to lose the daily high or lows for a weekly lower high to be set. That being said, the 4-hour uptrend is close to confirming a downtrend with this little lower high and lower low. So if we do break 525, we would then zoom out and scout a daily high or low from there. And again, it's the Bitcoin pairing doing the exact same thing. Breaking bullish, setting the weekly high or low, and a much more convincing weekly lower high is likely here because we're so much farther away from that all-time high here than we are on the US dollar pairing. So just another coin to be keeping an eye on. The bull move already happened in the short term, but this is a weekly equilibrium that's certainly worth watching, just like Link gave us a weekly equilibrium. High, low, lower high, higher low, all-time highs. So this is what I would call, I would call it a back burner trade, but we've already attributed that name to first oversold bounces after big bull moves. So just something to keep on watch for the next few weeks. If we do get a nice tightening equilibrium, bulls will be looking for the weekly high or low compared to where we came from, and just watching for the potential of tightening ranges. So that is where we stand in the short term. Bitcoin trying to bounce here. Need a 5-minute trend change for it to prove anything. 4-hour, little higher lows still intact. When we lose the 4-hour higher lows, the odds of our daily lower high being set will increase a bit. ETHUSD, healthy 4-hour consolidation, looking for the higher low there. We would have to lose the 4-hour uptrend for me to significantly lighten up my positions. And other than that, all eyes are on Bitcoin's daily equilibrium, getting set to break sometime within the next 4 days, I would say. We'll certainly check back in as that time approaches or as it is happening. Watch for the volume spike. You will not see a daily equilibrium like this break in either direction without clearly seeing increased volume comparative to the previous tightening days. Other than that, I hope you're well and I hope you do good things. Establish your game plan, write it down, stick to it, set your stop levels. We'll end it with some more Iceland and we'll see you soon.